Hello students. So today we are going to discuss about the forms of power sharing. So what are the structures in which power sharing has been modified or has been customized? We'll discuss about this. The idea of power sharing has emerged in opposition to the notions of undivided political power. For a long time, it was believed that all power of a government must reside in one person or group of persons located at one place. For a long period of time, it was believed that the power should be centralized, should not be decentralized. That is, it should belong to a single person or a group of person. It was felt that if the power to decide is dispersed, it would not be possible to take the quick decisions and to enforce them. So there would be a delay in taking decision making and enforcing it. So it was suggested to centralize the power. But these notions have changed with the emergence of democracy. One basic principle of democracy is that people are the source of all political power. In a democracy, people rule themselves through institutions of self-government. In a good democratic government, due respect is given to diverse groups and views that exist in a society. Everyone has a voice in the shaping of public policies. Therefore, it follows that in a democracy, political power should be distributed among as many citizens as possible. So, it is suggested that in democracy, the distribution of political power should be distributed among citizens as much as possible. In modern democracies, power sharing arrangements can take many forms. Let us look at some of the most common arrangements that we have or will come across. Power is shared among different organs of the government, such as the legislature, executive, and the judiciary. This is known as horizontal distribution of power because it allows different organs of government placed at the same level to exercise different powers. Such a separation ensures that none of the organs can exercise unlimited power. Each organ checks the others, and this results in a balance of power sharing various institutions. Last year, we studied that in democracy, even though ministers and government officials exercise power, they are responsible to the parliament or state assemblies. Similarly, although judges are appointed by the executive, they can check the functioning of executive all laws made by the legislatures. And this arrangement is called a system of checks and balances. So there are proper checks and balances at all the three levels: the executive, the legislative, and the judiciary. And all the three pillars of democracy, or the three decision making organs of the democratic government, basically keeps a checks and balances on each other, and they all have defined powers, but they don't have unlimited powers. And power can be shared among governments at different levels. In a general government for the entire country, and the governments at the provincial or regional level. Such a general government for the entire country is usually called federal government. In India, we refer to it as the central or the union government. The government at the provincial or the regional level are called by different names in different countries. In India, we call them as state governments. This system is not allowed in all countries. There are many countries where there are no provincial or state governments. But in those countries like ours, where there are different levels of government, the constitution clearly lays down the powers of different levels of governments. So their power is divided into different layers of government. Like we'll be discussing it further in Gram Panchayats, then Jila Panchayats. So then the state level and the central level. So power is basically divided at different levels of the government, and the constitution clearly lays down the powers of different levels of the government. That is why they did it in Belgium, but was refused in Sri Lanka. This is called federal division of the power. The same principle can be extended to levels of the government lower than the state government, such as the municipality and the panchayat. Let us call division of powers involving higher and lower levels of government vertical division of power. We shall study these at the length in the next chapter. So we have decided how we have discussed the different forms of government, how power is divided among legislative, judiciary, and executive, and at the different levels of the government. So in the next class, we'll continue the discussion further.